Well, now our original series, Project Home. This all started with San Francisco, and then the governor ordered all of California to shelter in place.
But what happens when you are at risk of losing your home? Well, Susie Steimle shows us who is being hit the hardest by the pandemic and why the eviction machine is difficult to slow down.
Exactly 1 week ago, the region received an order to coexist with our families in the comfort of our own homes, which for many has been rather uncomfortable, especially if you're now worried about how to pay for where you're supposed to stay put.
Trust and believe, I'm pretty nerve-wracked right now.
Richard Reynolds lost his roofing job. He was working on the new Facebook building in Santa Clara County, but the work has been deemed non-essential, so Richard was sent home.
They told us that because of the pandemic or the COVID virus, we are not able to return to work until April 7th. That's too many days of a gap to receive any kind of money or leniency to even pay rent.
We would really like to see a full rent and mortgage holiday so that payments are reduced to zero.
Brad Hearn is a community organizer with the Housing Rights Committee of San Francisco. He's pushing for more protections for tenants like Richard on a statewide level, including direct financial assistance, rent and mortgage holidays, and a full stop on all evictions and foreclosures.
These kinds of things, they just become sensible in a crisis, and they should be viewed as sensible, that there is no economic impact on people right now when they're struggling to survive.
President Trump did call for a moratorium on evictions and foreclosures for single-family homeowners affected by COVID-19. Governor Newsom called for a moratorium on evictions but left policy implementation up to local leaders. In the Bay Area, San Francisco, San Jose, Berkeley, and the county of San Mateo have put in place a moratorium on evictions. The city of San Mateo, along with Hayward, Oakland, Santa Rosa, and Santa Cruz, have plans in the works. One advocacy group is mapping it out for tenants. City by city, the Anti-Eviction Mapping Project highlights where tenant protections have been put in place. But most ordinances only help people who can prove the eviction is a direct result of COVID-19. So evictions in many parts of California are still being carried out from before the pandemic. And that means lawyers have to crowd into court.
I have to be out here, I have to come to court, I have to deal with opposing counsel, I have to deal with other clients, and I can't stay at home and shelter like I'm being directed to by the public health officer of this city.
Every single time someone has to come to court to defend themselves against an eviction, they are putting not just themselves, but the entire community at risk.
These lawyers hope San Francisco will soon declare a holiday and close the courts. That's something Alameda and Contra Costa counties have already done.
We should not be having evictions during this time.
San Francisco Supervisor Dean Preston has been working to shut down what he calls the eviction machine.
What does that say about our judicial system right now, that they think it's so urgent to be moving forward and evicting people when there's a directive that folks aren't supposed to leave their home? That makes no sense. We're confident we're going to get that changed.
Advocates are also asking for a moratorium on utility shutoffs, but that didn't help Oscar Gomez.
It's just frustrating. Why are we dealing with this right now?
His landlord shut off the water on Wednesday for 4 hours a day to perform what the company says are necessary adjustments to avoid sewage backups. But Oscar worries the work will drag on, which means no hand washing for several hours a day.
And I have a 74-year-old neighbor who's immunocompromised, who's totally anxious, and people have kids, and it's kind of overwhelming. The uncertainty's frustrating. And then something as ordinary as running water in my apartment is now frustrating.
Advocates say they think the governor and mayor intended for these protections to be in place all along.
I do believe that the leadership has the best interests of the community in mind, and this is an unintended consequence that we're facing right now.
The fear is that if the laws aren't specific enough, people will start to fall through the cracks. And for people like Richard, that raises anxiety, especially with April's rent payment just 1 week away.
I'm just trying to figure out how I can keep my roof over my head, and right now, not being able to pay rent, I don't see how that's possible.
State Assembly member Phil Ting does have plans to introduce an order that would go further than the governor's order. It would freeze all evictions statewide right now and extend that moratorium for an entire year. Now, we know there's a lot of people who are struggling right now, and if that's you who might be out of work due to what's going on with COVID-19, we've put together a list of resources that can help people like Richard, and that's with this story on our website. Ken and Liz.
Yeah, Susie, renters have it tough. They got to work out some kind of deal with their landlords, but a lot of folks, are owning homes. They're going to fall behind in their mortgage payments if they don't get back to work quickly enough. What about people who own?
You're absolutely right. They're talking about foreclosure forgiveness mortgage forgiveness and a mortgage holiday on a state level as well. And it's interesting you bring that up because with this story, that's what we decided to look at for next week's Project Home. So that segues right into that. We'll be looking at that next because you're right. It's a problem for homeowners too.
It costs so much money to live here, and a huge hit like this it can be devastating for a lot of people. All right,
Absolutely.
Susie, thank you.
Well, keep sending your stories and your ideas to Project Home, CBS.com, and you can see all of Susie's reporting on our website.